Okay, so before the apocalypse happens and identity politics will take over permanently, I thought I would just talk about something. So I ended up writing to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez the other day, like literally like 2 days ago, and I got an email back from their help desk. But it wasn't a generic email. I don't think they had some stuff worded to where it looks like they read my email. But here's the interesting thing. I actually ended up writing her when she was first getting known. And people would make fun of her and all this stuff. And I don't agree with a lot of what she says, but I understood what she was going through. So I thought, me being in Kansas, and I'm completely opposite side of the spectrum, though, too, politically. I wanted to write her and tell her that I understood what she was going through because I, at the time, was working a job full of brain dead losers that were part of the Teamsters union. And I was part also because there was the rumor when you got there, if you weren't in the union, you'd be fired. Well, that's not true. I ended up getting kicked out of that Teamsters union for asking for a steward election and exposing their corruption. So to be ousted like that as be labeled as an outsider and no one takes you seriously, even though I was right on a lot of stuff there. I mean, those people, that's not the point. So I felt like I related to AOC, and I, just wanted to see if she would respond and to someone on the opposite side politically. And I'm in Kansas. She's in New York. But I got the same pretty much generic response back that they would do their best to pass the message. And that was, 2014, 15, something like that. It was 5 years ago at least. And I understand politicians are busy, but this is a thing too. I wrote her a couple days ago. Now, when all this YouTube censorship or whatever was going on, I'm surprised this account's still up. I started contemplating and looking up that it was a form of voter suppression, which by definition, there's a smidge in there that is labeled anything that can discourage voters. So it's a form of voter suppression, because if they don't have all the information or the wrong information or false information about a candidate, of course that can discourage you from voting. But when you're suppressing one side to help the other or vice versa, whatever. So I wrote to both my Republican senators here in Kansas. I wrote to Ted Cruz, Lindsey Graham, Trey Gowdy, who's no longer in Congress, but I just thought I'd write to him because he seemed like a pretty strong-headed guy. Ben Shapiro, Candace Owens, and I think that's it. Lindsey Graham's generic email back was, since I'm not in South Carolina, they wouldn't personally respond. And I was like, okay, well, maybe they'll look at it. Nothing. Ted Cruz, same, no reply email. I'm not in the state, so no response. My senators, I haven't heard anything back from them. Everyone else I mentioned, nothing. Oh, I also, out of everyone, I thought maybe I'd get something about it. I actually emailed this to Fox News. And when I email these people, it's not some irrational rant. I explained my argument very well. I feel I didn't want to waste their time and make it super long because no one reads it. But the point is, I never got any responses back personally from about any of this stuff. And I only talk about this because I was watching the Joe Rogan Experience, and Tulsi Gabbard was on there, and she was talking about how her first day of Congress, they split Republicans and Democrats up. And you go your different ways, and it's all about the party. It's nothing with the bill. It has nothing of substance. It's we take wins for the party. That's it. The problem with that is the party is no longer a part of the people. It's literally just a pissing match between Congress. And Tulsi brought up a lot of good points. And the youngest people I can think right now in Congress, at least, I don't know them all, but Dan Crenshaw, the Republican side, and then you got Tulsi and AOC on the Democrat side. But that's really it. A lot of these Congress people are in office so long, they're closed-minded, they don't want to listen to new ideas, and they think that their old school ideas are what's best for the country, and it's not. And it's frustrating for me because, I mean, I've been told numerous times I should at least like start running for mayor in Kansas and get into politics. Kansas is so ass backwards and 20 years behind everyone. A 36-year-old can't go up to these people, especially in the Bible Belt. And I used to be religious, and I don't make fun of anyone for it, but I'm a more science factual guy over religion, but I'm not trying to take anyone's religious freedom away. But I can't go up to a debate with science and financial facts about how legal marijuana could help things. No one wants to hear it because they automatically think it's a drug and it's terrible. And no one likes facts. You can just see it all over the media. No one talks about science anymore. It's all based on what you can trigger people with. So after the election, I just really think it's going to get worse. So if you ever have the urge to write your congressman, good luck if they even write you back. So it's pretty sad. And I guess my main last point, a lot of these people's websites, oh, we want to help the people. We want to do things for the people. No, you want to do things for your people, not for everyone. And that's what bugs me. And Ted Cruz's response back really pissed me off because I'm in Kansas, he's in Texas. But it's not even, I'm not in Texas, but wouldn't it just make a little sense if I was on the Republican side and I'm trying to help bring things to light? Nope. It doesn't matter. And I'm not for censor. I'm a very in the middle guy. I don't want anyone to be censored unless it's actually valid hate speech or whatnot, but it just sets bad precedents. But everyone, as a congressman, you really only think of your state and yourself. But do they even think of their state? It's all self-interest. And I thought you were supposed to represent the people. It doesn't necessarily mean your state. But if people from the opposite sides of your political spectrum reach out to you and you don't say anything back, no dialogue is going to get started. So this country's screwed. But we'll see what happens. And who knows? Maybe AOC writes back after this. I don't know. So didn't write back the first time. I understand they're busy. But if my senators write me back, oh, man, I couldn't imagine their response because they're so old and brain dead. They probably couldn't even wrap their heads around what I was saying. So being smart should be a disability these days because having to deal with stupid people, ugh.